Welcome to the cabin. Dzień dobry. I hope this day finds you well. This is the OG from WBWC and Red Cabin Acoustic. This is just a quick comparison of the Aston Element, the sm7b, the re20, the Neat King B, and the R80 by XML. What follows was recorded in a video lab, mostly untreated and filled with monitors. The mics were on stands, on a table. Not ideal. They also all recorded the same voice at the same time. Again, not ideal, but I thought the consistency and performance was more important than making sure my mic technique was perfect for each mic. The tracks were normalized in post. My impressions will be posted at the end of the video. This introduction and the summary were also recorded with the Aston Element, but not with the included pop filter. Instead, it was recorded with the windscreen from the re20. And in the interest of full disclosure, my voice is kind of roached today. I'm not really sure why. Hey, welcome to the cabin. I hope you're doing well. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the Aston Element and compare it to a few other microphones. I'm not really doing a review because I haven't used it in enough situations to think that I can give it a proper review, but I can use at least my voice. I got it about a week ago. I haven't used it a lot. I've voiced a couple things with it. I've not used it on any musicians, so I don't feel like I can really do a very good review. I'm not a musician myself. I mostly talk for a living. And the reasons I decided to do this is because last week when I used it on a video, I was taken by how dark it was, which should be no surprise to you if you've watched it on some other videos. So what I've done is I've set up a bunch of microphones, actually 5 microphones, the Aston Element and 4 others, at the sort of distance that I would normally use them if I were going to voice something. So I've got the sm7b, I've got the Aston Element, I've got the re20, I've got the Neat King B, and I've got the R80, the ribbon from MXL. So a variety of different microphones. They should all, I would think, I'll find out at the end, sound very similar except for the Neat. There should be a lot more air in there, and you might also hear some garbage in the Neat. Because it has a large diaphragm condenser, I assume that it's much more sensitive to the others. And off camera here, there is a radiator that's making a lot of noise. I've put a blanket on it, so I better not forget to take that off when I leave today. I'm also in a room that does not have a lot of treatment. My other studios are being used right now at the radio station. I just thought I would set up in the editing room because I've got a table here and a computer. The other thing I should share with you is I'm using the Profire 2626, which is an old Firewire interface. And the reason I'm using the Profire 2626 is because it has a lot of gain. So I can just use it sort of naturally without a cloud lifter or a FET, although I don't have a problem using those when necessary, especially on this ribbon and especially on the 7B, sometimes on the RE20. But I don't have a problem with it. I just want to sort of match these mics as equally as possible. And one of the reasons I'm rambling is just so you can hear these different mics. So I'm going to go back and forth between them so you can kind of compare them side by side sonically anyway. So what I've done is I've set the input gains very close to each other. And then what I'm going to do is I will normalize them in post. So that way you can hear them with equal loudness. I don't want you to think of one of them as being louder or less loud as being a difference in quality. I want you to concentrate on the quality of the sound. And then I'll probably do the whole thing again a second time with a little bit of voice processing on. I don't do a lot of processing on my voice normally. I usually just take some junk out of it, and that's about it. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. If you've got comments or questions, you know what to do. If you want to share or any of those other things, you know what to do. Wow. Where should I begin? I'm back in the studio with the Aston Element, Rode AI1 interface, my impressions or lessons. Well, first of all, the better the sound system you listen to this on, the greater the difference you're going to perceive, which is always true, of course. But I was not expecting as much of a difference as I got, even between these dynamics. Now, when you're watching or listening to mic reviews, the mics can only record what they hear. And you guys have no idea of what my voice sounds like. You've heard it through a couple of different microphones, but you don't know what it's lacking. And my voice is lacking a lot. Another interesting thing that I noticed is that the ribbon makes the sm7b sound bright, which is kind of amazing because a lot of people think the sm7b sounds cloudy. I have a client who is a tenor that sounds great on ribbons, even inexpensive ones. And I know some singers who get a little pitchy when they don't support their voice, and the ribbon can really mellow out a take and perhaps save it. The King B is a great example of how a decent mic, a good mic, a sensitive mic may not work in a bad room. It just picks up too much of the other stuff that's going on, whether that's standing waves or a radiator or the neighbors. I hope these comparisons were useful or helpful. I'd love to hear your comments. If you think that my voice benefited from one mic or another, even though you don't know what I really sound like, I'd still like to know what you prefer. I hope you have a great day and a happy new year. Now, go make some noise and record it. Peace.